Hello guys, today we are here with
Benedikt Stinger.
and on this weekend you topped at an event at the Nationals in Slovenia, right?
Yes, I got top 4 at the Slovenian Nationals 2026 in Ljubljana with approximately 114 players playing branded Dracotail.
Okay, then show us your deck list starting with the main deck.
Sure. So it's clean 40 cards, 3 5-mana, 3 Lukias, the one of Frixel and the one of Mululu. Of the bigger guys, just 2 Urgula and 1 Pen. So from my last event, I played 2 Pen and 2 Urgula, and now I decided to cut one of the big names because I don't want to see multiple copies of them or bricking of seeing too many of them, and I liked it a lot, even though the Pen, a second Pen is greater against the K-Tune matchup, but for me it was perfectly fine to play only 3 of the bigger guys for consistency issues with this deck. That's the Dracotail names, then only 2 traps in the main deck now, the Horn and the Flame. I cut the Sting, it's in the side deck obviously, and also this was like, I saw many people now playing only 2 traps in the main deck and not 3 anymore. The Sting is worse against Doomsea, against K-Tune, so I decided to main deck the Horn. I can even bounce my own cards if I really need that draw, and it was not missing for me. Sometimes it's a bit awkward if you have to fuse a ton of engine from your hand and have to set multiple copies of Rahu and not getting to all 3 traps when you start, but like I don't regret it cutting this one, because I rarely saw those traps hard draw, especially going second. For the Dracotail spells, 3 Rahu and 1 Ketu, standard. The branded part of this deck, 3 Fallen and the Virtues, so the third Fallen and the Virtues was like the Sting, so the third trap or a third Fallen, and honestly I liked it a lot. It helps me break through boards. You can always send for cost, and then you have the end phase, an additional effect that floats a body and some interaction for your opponent. This card alone is way better than the traps, for sure. Even going second. 2 branded fusion, 2 Cartesias, 1 Ecclesia. I sided the second Cartesia often out going second, for example. 1 OG Albas, 2 White Albas, standard ratios. And the last part is the non-engine. 2 Forbidden Droplet, 2 Ghost Bell, 3 Ash, 3 Fubalos, and 2 Droll. I expected a ton of different matchups throughout the whole tournament, which is true in the end. And that's why I decided to play different hand traps to have good matchups into every single deck, or to see many different hand traps in combination, so that I can stop my opponent and break through their half board in the best case scenario, for sure.
Short question in between. How often did your Fubalos resolve?
Not many times. Like the mini game Ash against Fubalos or Ash against Fuba plus called by in every single game is a bit awkward, but I mean, we cannot do anything about that.
Okay, then let's go for the extra deck.
Sure. Gulamel and 2 Aphelion for the Dracotail names. And the other monsters were all of the branded archetype. So 2 Red Albion. This was the Sanctifier a long time ago, or like for a couple of months. And now I decided to switch it to a second Red Albion. The Sanctifier doesn't add much value to your end board, to be honest. You already have many ways to fuse, and to have an additional copy of the Red Albion helps you, so you can dump one to the graveyard with Virtues or with the Mirror Jade Banish, send it for cost, and have another one if you get into the on-field fuse effect of it, and can banish the fodder from the graveyard and go for an easy OTK. So I liked it a lot, having a second copy. Then the Rindbram as a Fallen Virtuous target in your opponent's turn. The Titanic Lads. The mandatory Mirror Jade, this card is still insane. The Dogma that Devours. This dragon is also very good, like the OG Alba Super Poly target. The Albalinatus, I think I didn't summon him once because all my branded opponents played around him, but also like dumping and having follow-up, always a branded fusion in hand is great. Chaos Dowsers came up, I think, only once against an Aircraft Stun Gravekeeper deck where I had to pop his Floodgates or his entire back row. This won me this match for sure. They won Lobelion as a branded fusion target going second so that you can dump the Mululu. I think I only summoned him once. The mandatory Synchro Ecclesia and one Secretarian, one Mysterion because I expected a lot of Malice in this tournament. I only played against one Malice and I didn't need the Mysterion to win against him. It's the extra deck. The side deck consists of the third Ghost Bell for siding patterns, the third Droplet, 2 Mulchami Borulia against Killer Tune, against Branded, against Doomsea, 2 Lightning Storms and 1 Duster for generic back row removal, 2 Nibiru. The idea was to have an additional hand trap if you go first, and the other hand traps like Ash, Bell or Roll are not that impactful to secure your board if the opponent clears your whole board and wants to break through and go for an OTK. You can nip them at the end of their line because they really have to commit definitely over 5 summons to out your board, and then in the grind game you have to win those games, in my opinion. The one of Magnamut, so this card won me my top 8 game against a branded guy because I bestiared end of main his Red Albion and he had to ash the search because it searches me the White Albas or Mululu. So this card won me the game 3 against the branded guy. 2 Fenrir for going first, a generic face down removal, pretty nice. I like it a lot, even though it's way better into the Yummy Finsmith format because there you can always checkmate their normal summon. In this format I think it's okay, but not as good as it used to be. But I like it. It's always an additional, it's a free body that searches an additional body in hand that you can fuse off for free. So I still liked it. And the Called by and Testing also for going first.
Was the Kashtira Fenrir also an out for Retaliating Sea?
Yeah. Of course it is, but I think I only got read that C once and never shifted, luckily, throughout the whole tournament.
Okay. So do you have any shoutouts?
Yeah, shoutouts to Florian for driving me to Ljubljana on day 2. Shoutouts to Thomas for recording this deck profile. Shoutouts to Hive Games, our local game store at Klagenfurt. Shoutouts to Marco Parenti for helping me build this list and talking about the branded Dracotail theory. Shoutouts to Matteo Gamat for helping me to build this deck and to have a look at my lists. And shoutouts to all the people who helped me build this deck list and controlling it a few days ago before I went to this tournament.
And would you say Dracotail is, we all know about the current ban list. Do you think Dracotail is dead after that?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm pretty sure it is because like with one Rahu, you really don't have those grind games anymore. You only have a few graveyard effects and you really want to see, especially going second. I think I lost many die rolls this weekend. I think 8 of 12 or something like that, or 9 of 12. And I really want to see those Rahus and Ketu and the Ketu going second to break through the boards, else it's not possible without those strong fusion spells.
So you don't plan to play Dracotail at the European Championship?
No, it's time to say goodbye now to this deck, sadly.
Okay.